What's up, guys? Sean here. Oh man, I've been holding out on you guys, huh? With that video where I showed you guys about the Cruwear Sprint Run PM2 and how I just barely got it. You know, right when I got done filming that video, I had got the last one from this place right here, GP Knives. Probably my favorite place to actually buy knives, man. It's just so kind of low key. You read all the descriptions on the knives that they have. They're super accurate. You know, these guys definitely, they have a passion for cutlery. They know what they're talking about. Tyler, you know, on their videos, very cool, very cool. I do like GP Knives a lot. I'm definitely going to try to make sure I make most of my knife purchases from GP Knives if I can. Otherwise, you know, sometimes I feel like because they're not as big as some of the other places, they don't have everything, but they do have a lot of cool stuff, and so this is the first place I always look for new knives to buy is GP Knives. Cool dudes. Kind of a side tangent there, sorry about that, guys. But I had just barely got this in time. I got the last one. As soon as I put it in my cart and checked out, it was like out of stock, you know, after that. So I was like, oh, thank God. I almost shouldn't have wasted time making a video about this guy, but here it is. The Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Used and abused, not abused, in CPM Cruwear steel. Excellent, excellent knife. First off, I gotta say, they do not come this smooth out of the box. This one, for whatever reason, seemed like it was just like a little stiff. The detent was very, very strong, and as well as the pivot seemed a little tight. I went to go adjust the pivot, and to my horror, I realized that they put red Loctite on the pivot and all the screws, except for the pocket clip, which is, if you're watching this Spyderco, you gotta stop doing that. That's pretty horrible. Especially add the fact that they will not ship screws to you, and you have to send the whole knife back to them and pay for the hardware. I mean, the warranty is just, it's pretty rough with Spyderco, I gotta say. I love, love, love their knives. And you know what, I guess if that's what they have to do to offer you these awesome knives at such low prices, and I hate to say it, but so be it. But now it's awesome. I went ahead and I used a heat gun to break the red Loctite, added some lubricant, and it's just where I like it. Just drops completely free, super fluid, super smooth. No up and down play, no side to side. Paramilitary 2, I mean, it's definitely been a top knife for a reason. The fit and finish, materials, ergonomics. Awesome. And in Cruwear, it's great. Cruwear, you know, I've talked a lot about the steel in those other videos. I geeked out about it. Now we're going to talk about the actual kind of use of it. So Cruwear is probably my favorite steel. There, I said it. It's not a stainless steel. It will rust readily, but it's not as reactive as you would think, actually. It does have that 8% chromium. This steel sharpens like a beast. I mean, I haven't been filming videos, so I have more arm hair to show you guys, but you can see, oh God, just so sharp. I mean, just crazy sharp. If I can compare Cruwear to anything, I would say it's all the awesome attributes to M4, kind of mixed with super blue. So what I'm trying to say with that is that we're not as wear resistant as M4, but that's kind of a good thing in this steel's case because we're also not as difficult to sharpen as M4. Now, I said difficult, not impossible. What I'm talking about with M4 is that if you try to bring up a really nicely polished edge on M4, you got to make sure your angles are really consistent and dead on. It doesn't seem to grind as fast. M4 seems to want more of a toothier edge. This Cruwear stuff, you can go either way. If you like toothy edges, you can put toothy on it. If you like polished edges, you can put a polished edge on it. So it's nice to have options. It seems like Cruwear has options. It's a really hard tool steel. I think we're talking probably like 60, 62 on this. I'm not sure what Spyderco's hard in theirs at, but it's great. It takes a killer edge, super keen. So if you're familiar, Spyderco had a kind of sprint run Aogami, and so they had that super blue sprint run, and that steel just sharpens amazing. It's a kitchen knife steel, very hard, carbon steel. It's got some tungsten for wear resistance. Awesome stuff, but not the longest edge holding, not the most wear resistant, but its beauty of it is that it just sharpens like a dream. So if you want a super blue, it seems Cruwear is where it's at. I mean, this stuff is just amazing. I'll show you guys the edge some more on some paper. Kind of maintained the factory geometry, got rid of the micro bevel that came with it. Probably don't have all the factory grind lines out on it yet. That'll come though. But great stuff, man. You can see how sharp we are. I mean, just, oh, screaming sharp, and it's so easy to keep it there. It seems like it really holds this high keenness for a really long time. M4 seems like it kind of drops down to a more of a working edge quicker than this Cruwear stuff. So I think this is kind of the steel that I've been looking for what I personally like in knives. You know, I'm really stoked on Cruwear. Ooh, just fantastic. If you guys could just feel this edge, it's just really bitey. So really enjoy this knife. It is pretty awesome. We'll also touch up on some other things here too. I did kind of bring up how it's similar to a Super Blue, and this is kind of my experience with Super Blue. You guys have probably seen this knife in my videos. We talked about this Super Blue. This is actually a 210mm Giotto. Awesome knife. Super Blue is impressive stuff. You can see where it's laminated. You can see where it's exposed, the carbon core. So I do have cutting experience with Super Blue just in the kitchen. An incredibly thin knife too. Actually, what's really cool about Cruwear is I have a steel that's similar in composition to Cruwear. And we'll get to this. Maybe we'll do a steel geek out on this. But this is basically a stainless Cruwear knife. It's a different steel. It's made in Japan. This is a Akifusa PM. And this right here is a steel called SRS 15. And this steel is hardened to about 62, 64 HRC. And you can see how thin this blade is. I mean, we were talking incredibly thin, incredibly hard, laminated blade, killer edge. Sharpens almost just like Super Blue, but then we got more wear resistance on this steel. This is actually a 240, so 9.5 inch, much bigger blade. So I've been playing around with Cruwear, and I've been getting kind of the full experience. If you looked at the composition of this, we'll have to do a geek out, I guess. It has the same composition of this Cruwear steel. It just has more of the chromium. So this steel has close to about 8% chromium. This guy right here has about 13, 14%. So stainless Cruwear, man. Crazy. But yeah, crazy edge taking, crazy kind of high sharpness, edge holding. Love this blade. Great work in the kitchen. Probably not forgiving to abuse, but when it comes to probably 90% of your cutting tasks in the kitchen, just awesome blade. Cruwear is also similar to a steel called PD1, if you've heard of that right there, as well as a steel called Spectrumware. Spectrumware is a non-PM version. There's kind of some confusion about Cruwear. Is it PM? Is it not PM? I guess it was an ingot cast steel before a certain time. What was it, like maybe like 2010 or something like that. Then they turned it into CPM Cruwear, so you can see they have that mouthful on the side of the blade. It says CPM Cruwear, and they made sure to point that out. So no one's quite sure exactly when this switch made, but Cruwear is now CPM. Spectrumware has a little bit different alloying to it. I think it focuses more on tungsten versus vanadium in Cruwear, but we could have looked that up as well. Spectrumware is going to be just a cast ingot steel. PD1 is Carpenter's version, basically, of Cruwear, so it's not widely available to us normal people. But I'm going to have to say, I think we are definitely going to have to look forward to a Melanika Puko in some Cruwear, because this stuff is just fantastic. As far as doing any rope cutting tests, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the rope cutting test, to be honest, because the only way to really be super successful with rope cutting is to leave a coarse edge on there. And so you're only kind of checking out one facet of how top performing a knife is. So you pretty much, if you want to do a real rope cut test, you got to leave all those edges really nice and coarse. Polished edges, you'll probably only get a few cuts. Toothy edge, you'll get much more cutting. So yeah, sweet blade. Do enjoy this one a lot. Thank you to the people at GP Knives for allowing me to purchase this in time. Somehow, some way, they actually didn't have anything to do with me getting this knife. I bought it on my own and spent my money, but I'm just happy that they had it and I was able to just see it from checking the what's new section. I was able to jump on this thing like a beast and get it because, yeah, once the sprint runs are gone, they're gone. So that's sadly how it works. But yeah, cool stuff. We'll talk about this knife again. I mean, this isn't going to be the only time we'll talk about it, but just wanted to kind of touch base with you guys and let you guys know how Cruwear is doing. And Cruwear is mighty fine. I do enjoy it. Again, I didn't touch on the fact that no, it's not as wear resistant as S110V or M4 or S90V or, you know, any of those super duper steels, but it's got a nice balance to it. It's got a lot of the qualities I personally like in a knife. Me, personally. Alright guys, we'll talk later.